What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. We are going to do another week of a weekly recap, but today we are recording a little different. I'm switching things up a bit. I'm recording in my bedroom with my vanity and stuff instead, just to kind of give a new scene and because I couldn't record in my office. So we are going to record here, but another week, another weekly recap, just a different location. Let's go. Alright, you guys, so we continue to build these storylines for WrestleMania, continue to add new matches to WrestleMania, and there was a lot that happened on Smackdown this week. We have a new U.S. title. Nikki Bella was possibly hurt. Randy is still talking to somebody, and I want to dive into all of that. So let's talk about Sami Zayn winning the U.S. title. This, to me, is kind of a surprise. I did not think that they were going to take the title away from Melo. I really thought that he would carry it into WrestleMania, and I know that Sami and Trick have had this kind of like feud going on, and Trick's obviously a huge star. People love him, so he needs a spot at WrestleMania, but I didn't think that the Sami and Trick feud necessarily needed a title. And even with the title, I feel like you could have definitely thrown Melo in that picture as well and maybe had a triple threat. But it looks like that we are getting Sami versus Trick, and we don't know what Melo is going to do now. I'm a little disappointed for Melo because I think he earned that WrestleMania spot. I think he definitely deserved that WrestleMania spot. Hopefully he will get another match somewhere else. I'm not sure what that's going to look like for him, but hopefully he'll get something else and be on the WrestleMania card. I kind of wonder if they're going to pivot and do like Melo and Ilya, because they've had that kind of like weird connection and weird like friendship, and Ilya's kind of been like his cheerleader. So I almost wonder if they're going to go the tag team route with them just to kind of boost that. We've seen them kind of mix together kind of random people lately, like R-Truth and Damian Priest, who are our current champions. So I almost wonder if that's where they're going to go with Melo, and then Trick and Sami are going to fight for the title. Now, I will say, I do hope that this brings out kind of more of a ruthless side of Sami, because we've been seeing him kind of play with that side, but not 100% commit. We've seen him kind of like yell at people and scream at people, but then apologize right after. And I feel like that Sami really needs to channel this like inner demon in order to beat Trick Williams at WrestleMania. So it'll be a good match. I definitely think Sami versus Trick will be a good match. I just kind of wish Melo could have been in that mix and held that title until WrestleMania. I definitely don't think he's walking out with the title at WrestleMania. I don't think Sami's walking out with the title at WrestleMania, if that gives you any spoilers. But I definitely do hope that Melo can find a spot somewhere. Then we had, of course, the women's tag team division going at it again. This has been week to week, and they have been constantly going at it. But what I did notice is that Nikki Bella was down with the doctors on the side, and when the match kind of ended, she was nowhere to be found. Later, we see her kind of walk out gingerly, and so this could really take into effect if she's actually hurt. But as we saw last night on Raw, it does not appear that she is hurt. The official announcement has been made that we are getting a 4-way women's tag match with Charlexa, Bayley and Lyra, Nia and Lash, and the Bella Twins, and I'm honestly super excited for this match. I think this is a great way to, number one, feature all of these people, but number two, I think it just shows how strong the women division is in relation to the men's, because the men's tag team, we have nothing like this, and so for you to not even be able to single out like 2 tag teams in the women, you have to put 4 in there, just shows how strong they are. I'm super excited about that. I'm really glad Nikki is not hurt, because I definitely want to see her at WrestleMania. I want to see the Bella Twins back at WrestleMania because it's been so long. And so I am here for all of this action, and I think it's going to be great. We still have Randy and Cody going back and forth, basically wanting to destroy each other. But Randy is still talking to somebody. And when this first happened, I thought that he was talking to The Rock. I just felt like The Rock always makes himself known during this time and during this season. And when Randy said there's more than one royal family, it just kind of hinted at the Samoa family for me. But I don't think that anymore. I actually have been swayed to think that Randy is talking to KO. And I really hope that this is how KO returns. I really hope that this is how we get him back. I think it would be a great dynamic to this feud with Cody, but I think it would also be very intriguing to see two of the WWE's most unhinged characters working together, because we know that heel Randy is absolutely insane, and so is KO. So I am actually here for all of this. KO and Cody have a history. They have gone at it numerous times before, and it's been fantastic. So I am hoping that Randy is actually talking to his good friend KO, and I honestly hope that they reveal this before WrestleMania. Like, I would like to see who he's talking to before we actually get to WrestleMania. But either way, this match doesn't need anybody else. Between Cody and between Randy, this thing is going to be an absolute great match, and I think that the main events are going to blow it out of the water this year. Then we move on to Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was at Madison Square Garden, and it was a can't miss event, according to Twitter. And it was actually really good. I was very impressed with everything that happened. We had new tag champions. Logan Paul and Austin Theory won the tag titles from the Usos with the help of IShowSpeed. And I found this match interesting. Obviously, I'm an Uso fan, so I'm never going to be happy when they lose a belt. But I did find the dynamic of the match interesting because LA Knight has been that nosy neighbor that has constantly been in this picture for no reason, because it's not any of his business, to be honest with you. And we saw that again last night. He tried to stop Logan from using the brass knuckles. IShowSpeed got pulled into this because, let me tell you something, IShow's life has been flipped upside down ever since Danhausen cursed him. He got pulled into this. He then got the brass knuckles and knocked out LA Knight. This then helped Logan Paul knock out the Usos, and Austin Theory got the pin and won the tag titles. And I felt like this was like kind of an interesting dynamic, having IShowSpeed like accidentally help the Vision, and then now he's kind of like forced to be a part of the Vision because he helped them. I thought that this was very interesting. I don't know where this dynamic goes for WrestleMania. I don't know if we're gonna get like IShowSpeed versus LA Knight. I don't know if the Usos will get a rematch because of all of the stuff that went down. I'm not 100% sure where this is going to go, but I did find it very interesting the way they wrote it. Obviously, still not happy about it because I want the Usos to hold those titles, but I do feel like in the tag division there needs to be a little bit of a shakeup. And I actually predicted that the Vision would win this so that there could be like an extra, like an additional motive for WrestleMania, because if the Usos just carried the titles into WrestleMania, I felt like that was a little lackluster. I feel like there needed to be some drama added to this, and I think last night definitely did that. And then we got the news from Adam Pearce that Seth Rollins is officially cleared to compete, and he was ready to go full force and attack Paul Heyman. But he was interrupted by somebody named Gunther. And I am not a huge fan of this match for the simple fact that I feel like it needs a storyline. And I feel like they can build that. I feel like within the next few weeks, they could definitely build that. I get that Seth's plan and Gunther's plan had to change because the injuries and everything that went down. And so when you have two big stars like that, you kind of piece them together however you can. But I feel like these next few weeks before we get to WrestleMania, they need to work on that. They need to work on piecing this together so that it will make more sense. I think the best way to do this, and I've had a few people mention this to me, I've thought about this, I think the best way to do this, because we know that Gunther is the career killer, and unless something drastically changed, he's not going to retire Seth Rollins. So I think the best way to do this is, because we know Paul Heyman is shady, and we know Paul Heyman will do whatever he needs to do to protect himself. And I think the best way to play this is that Paul Heyman hired or recruited Gunther to take out Seth Rollins and help him. And in return, Gunther gets Brock at SummerSlam in Minnesota, and he can retire Brock Lesnar in Minnesota, in Brock's kind of hometown. I think that's the best way to pivot this. But I think that they definitely need to work on a storyline here to make it even more intriguing. We also got the announcement from Penta that he will be defending his title in a ladder match. And I think that this is an interesting choice, because I have said all along since Penta took the title from Dom, who is he going to face at WrestleMania? Who is his opponent? Who does he have a strong enough feud besides Dom with that he could face? And so putting him in this ladder match gives us a very intriguing match. We have some big stars in it, like Javon Evans. We have some stars that we haven't seen as much, like JD and Rusev. We haven't really seen Rusev since he went toe-to-toe with Oba. So I'm very intrigued by this. I think this is going to be a good match. I think there's one clear-cut winner for me, and that's Javon Evans. I definitely think he deserves this title. I think it's time to put this title on a new person. I like Penta and everything that he has done, and I know he hasn't held the title for a while, but he's been in this title picture for a while, and I think it's time to give it to a young OG, and so I would give that title to Javon. We also got an official announcement for Finn and Dom at WrestleMania, which of course we all knew. Roxy returned to help Liv Morgan take out Stephanie, and I feel like Liv's losing at WrestleMania, and I haven't come to terms with that yet. But I just definitely think with Liv always standing tall, that does not look good for who's going to win at WrestleMania. I do ultimately think that the end goal is Liv versus Raquel. And so I think that somehow Raquel will be involved in this loss. But I definitely feel like at the moment she is losing, as hard as that is to say. And then we, of course, had Io going against Raquel. But the kind of main purpose of this match was that Io, again, was clashing with Asuka over how she's treating Kairi. And I think that at WrestleMania, we're going to kind of get a custody of Kairi match. And we're going to see who she chooses, whether she chooses to be with Io or Asuka. And I think that's going to be an interesting one as well, because they have a lot of chemistry, they have a lot of history. And so I think that one will be a great filler match. And of course, we end the show again with Roman and Punk beating the crap out of each other like they always do. And I've said it once, I'll say it again, I'll say it 9,000 more times before we get to WrestleMania. Roman Reigns is on a whole another level. Like, he is so unbothered by all of this that I just feel like he's gonna wipe the floor with CM Punk. And I might be surprised, I might be shocked, but I just feel like this man is gonna wipe the literal floor with CM Punk, because he is so unbothered and so unfazed by all of this stuff. Now, I will say I logged into Raw a little later because I was putting my child to bed and everything. So I missed a lot of the Seth and Cody segment. So I have to kind of rewatch that and see what happened. I literally turned it on when Steph was slapping Cody. And so I was like, Steph just slapped Cody. What did I miss? So I will talk about that in a separate reel or maybe a separate video because I have not watched that full segment enough to talk about it. But all I have to say is Steph better be careful because Brandy Rhodes is not one to play with. But I am very satisfied with where we are right now with booking. I think we are in a great spot for WrestleMania, and I'm excited for all of these matches that we have on the card so far. But let me know, what are you looking most forward to, and what do you think of the new matches that we've gotten? As always, subscribe, like, follow me on all socials, and I'll see you guys next time.